That was awesome. As you know, with the first fight, though, sometimes not so full, but I had a lot of people here to support me, so it was still amazing. I saw so many familiar faces, and even though it wasn't full to capacity like it will be when Weidman gets in there, they got loud for me, and I appreciate that.
Were you nervous?
No, no, it felt great. Um, this whole week being home and being able to replicate what training camp is with you going back home after you train, it was probably the best fight week experience of my life,
Could you,
honestly.
for those that don't know, could you tell us what? I know you fought him and beat him, was a relatively close fight,
Yeah,
but what is the sort of impetus of the feud between you guys, or maybe the friction between you and Frankie?
yeah, just to be clear about it, leading up to the first fight, I've never had anything but respect for Frankie, his family, the camp he comes from. I knew that when I kept pushing to fight him to try to get to the UFC, that he was tops on the East Coast in my weight class. So it was just a respect fight, wanting to fight the best. The first fight, there was no trash talk, and I felt like I controlled that whole fight. And I thought that one of the judges from Jersey tried to give him, the slip to see if he could get him to squeeze by. Um, since then, I've seen him and his family many times. It's been nothing but respect. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. How's your family? I hope you're doing great. Good luck on your next fight. Stuff like that. And then to find out on that Nick Catone radio, whatever they tagged me in this past week, that he's basically been wishing me the worst and been bitter toward every step of success I've had since we've competed was kind of a slap in the face to me. And the fact that they tagged me in it to try to egg me on kind of gave me an extra push to show him that it doesn't matter what day it is, he can't beat me.
And what'd you say to him, or what did he say to you afterwards? It seemed like you had a brief conversation.
We just kind of squashed it right afterwards. We probably were both feeling the fight, and he just came across and he said, all the bullshit aside, um, nothing but respect for you guys, and you're a great fighter, and I think you're a good dude, and I kind of reiterated that back to him. I said, that I thought he was a good guy, and we're just talking to talk and try to promote a fight, and there was no hard feelings moving forward.
You buy that?
I buy it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, how many times are you gonna get in there and fist fight a guy for 15 minutes
Yeah.
before you kind of hash things out? It's like
Sure.
fighting your brother, you know?
You're the kind of guy who likes to have something like that building up to the fight because it motivates you and makes it a little bit easier to punch
I
people.
do. I think he gave me a little bit of an extra incentive. I think he made a mistake doing that. When you fight someone and there's almost too much respect, sometimes you go in there a little bit soft. This isn't a sport where you could go in there soft. Sometimes you need a chip on your shoulder. You need to be, ready to prove to somebody that, they're going to get it. And he gave me that little extra edge that I needed to show him, like, you watch him fight on his feet. He likes to try to get fancy and showboat and spin and this and that. Like, you're not going to do any of that to me. This isn't that kind of fight. And I was able to use that motivation and dominate.
Which one is your next one? You hope you get matched up with somebody that
Yeah, I
is
was
there.
telling them out there, I want Nik Lentz, because we went out to that athlete retreat, and as you probably know, you know matchups good. He and I both fought Islam, who's as tough as it gets in this division, in my opinion. So I tried to have a short conversation with him about us both having fought Islam, and he couldn't have been ruder to me. I don't know if he remembers this, but I remember it, and that guy doesn't have anything for me. So if he wants to get it, he could get it.
What'd he say that was rude?
He just wouldn't even like acknowledge me. He looked at me like I was almost like part of the wall. He made this like grunting noise at me, and he just turned his back on me. I was like, really? And I kind of asked him, and he just kept going. Like, that's the weirdest guy I ever came across in my life in this sport. So if he wants to get beat up, I'm cool with it.
You said you won the first ever fight in the Coliseum. How special is that?
So awesome. I mean, that's something that they can't take from you. You guys know how long this struggle has been for the New York fighters. I was kind of ready to just say like, hey, I guess Jersey's my home state of fighting, and this unfolding in the last year or so, and then the reopening of the Coliseum here after the Islanders left, just like a little bucket list. Really is bucket list.
10 months since your last fall. Some session performance out there today.
It's too long of a turnover. Like, there's no rhyme or reason why they do this to people. They just pick who they want to run like hot hands. and you can't catch any groove in there. Like I feel like I, I feel. Imagine someone hasn't pitched in 10 months. Imagine Matt Harvey coming back after 10 months, or Noah Syndergaard. You can't be your best. You can't be primed and ready to go. Those guys, they get in grooves and they catch rhythms, and like you have to have more consistency to be your best self. You can't just expect people to come off the shelf after a year and like crush it. So I want to finish fights. I'm not happy not finishing him. He's a super tough opponent everywhere. So that is what it is, but I'm the kind of guy, like, I need to be in there every 2-3 months to be really performing at my best.
And
The card at MSG that's supposed to happen in November too far away? You want to get in there sooner than that?
No, I mean, if they were going to put me on something like that here in New York, I'd be glad to wait for it. MSG's the mecca of fighting. It's the Garden, so I'd be so happy to wait for that. I'll start that one off for them too if they want me to. I don't care.
if I'm not mistaken, you're a Rangers fan, right?
Big time.
But you grew up on Long Island.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
You know, that one I'll admit, I'll cop to the fact that growing up, I had a lot of kids around me. I was at that impressionable age when they took the cup in '94, and all my friends, it was just Ranger fever here, and I got swept up in Ranger fever. Despite my dad being like an avid Islander fan, I came to so many games here as a kid with my friends running around the Coliseum. But I decided I'm the kind of guy that, like, if I make that decision, I'm going to stick to it. I'm not going to jump back over.
Right.
So once I went to Ranger Town, I just stayed.
So you're a bandwagon jumper.
I was never really an Islander fan.
Okay.
I was kind of just like trying to find my own with hockey. I had just started playing, and then I kind of picked them because, admittedly, yes, they were the best team at that time, and I just stuck with them. It's been a long time since then, so
Yeah.
give me a little bit there.
6 years old?
I was like, yeah, I had just turned 7, I think. Yep.
You staying for the whole fight? Whole fight tonight?
I gotta support my guys. I'll be here.
You stay for the entire card?
Not usually. I'll usually probably catch some of it in the back, the green room area, and then go find family and friends and hang out and celebrate. But I gotta see Ryan and Dennis and Chris, and hopefully I could catch Brian after this, and hopefully we get this sweep. Gian.
What excited you more, fighting here tonight or the idea of Kyrie Irving joining the Knicks?
Fighting here tonight, but Kyrie Irving joining the Knicks is a close second.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that,
Oh,
because I
man.
know you're with me, but like,
Yeah.
I can't even fathom like the energy that will give us. I was upset about the Tim Hardaway Jr. thing. I mean, hopefully it pans out, but I'm hoping that kind of player can turn things around, in my opinion, like this, especially with them saying that they're not going to let Melo walk. I mean, that could be huge.
Are you hoping to, at some point, get popular enough to where you could transition? Because I saw on your Twitter, like you're writing to like Ramona Shelburne, you're tweeting her about the Knicks like
Yeah.
2 days ago. Like
Yeah.
you're still a huge NY sports fan. Would you like to transition into sports talk radio or something like that, like we've seen with Rick DiPietro and some other athletes?
Absolutely. I think my grasp on like major sports in general is second to none, even in the UFC. Like if you could sit me with anybody, and if you want to talk all sports across, football, basketball, hockey, whatever it is, I could talk to anyone about most teams, most players. So sports has been my passion my whole life. So hopefully I can reach a level, like you said, that people want to hear what I have to say consistently. I'm always tweeting at like Boomer and Carton, like the
I
local
see it.
guys. I truly am just an avid sports fan. I watch ESPN nonstop. So
That's awesome.
that would be another like dream thing for me.